Thank you for, joining our meeting tonight. It is 6:34. We'll be starting our, meeting of, our business meeting, November 27, 2023. We're going to salute the flag.
Congratulations to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call, Mr. Kaufman.
Ms. Hoff. Mr. Wright. Ms. Richardson.
Right.
Ms. Hopkins.
Present.
Mr. Tong.
Present.
Mr. Callahan. Present. Ms. Cook Henry.
Present.
Ms. Ivory.
Present.
And Ms. Borges.
Present. Thank you, Mr. Kaufman. So comments, announcements from the board president. I always like to start off with a quote, as you all know, and today's quote is, in life, we have to fix our want to. And I say that because in life, sometimes you say you want to try to do things, or you tell yourself you're going to do things, and you don't ever get around to do it. But it's not about that, it's about the action. It's about the want to. So these are things I share with all people that are in my life to inspire and motivate them, to get them to understand it's all about your want to. And when you can adjust your want to, you'll be able to do anything and accomplish anything in life. So my quote today is fix your want to. With regard to announcements, I had the opportunity to be a part of and lead the alumni games that was on 11/22. It was the day before Thanksgiving. It's our annual Rap Curry alumni basketball games. Now, it wasn't called the annual Rap Curry alumni basketball games until we lost Rap, so we actually named it after him, because since his time in the district, since 2003, he had it every year, our annual basketball game. And we used to have it every Friday, Black Friday. But now this year we had to change it to the day before Thanksgiving. It was a really, really fun event. A lot of people showed out. A lot of students came out, which was really, really exciting, and a lot of alumni. We also had vendors as well, and we want to build upon this event. I took the charge with trying to get all the alumni there. We had all the way back from the class of '89 showed up. So we're doing a good job with our net. We're going to keep trying to throw the net for that. We're trying to also build. Jen Hoff was there. She helped out. Who else was, I think, we had, I don't know if everybody knows, Coach Leon Howard. He was there to be able to help out. Our whole athletic team was there. Poplowski showed up and his wife. It was just a lot of people that came out and showed out. And that's what it was all about. You know, rap was always about community and about togetherness. And it was a phenomenal event. And then also Miss Commodore, she definitely ran it, man. She ran that table up front, making sure everybody paid, but it was really, really nice. We had a good concession turnout. So I just want to keep that going on for us every year, to keep our alumni wanting to come back. You know, when you graduate from somewhere, it's always good to give back your time. So that was something else. Also, I would like to mention, we had the opening of our food pantry that also occurred right before the break. Our coach, Mr. Joe Cuff, he is the assistant coach on our football team. If you are not familiar, we have a food pantry. We have worked with Phil Abundance, and I want to thank Desiree Morsi for bringing this to our attention and helping us put this together. So what it is with our food pantry is that they provide food for all student athletes and even extracurricular activities. So you can go there, you can get snacks, you can get also first aid supplies. They even have Pampers in there. So for people that may need Pampers, but I just think it's an awesome thing, because sometimes, you know, we have a lot of kids that finish school and they have to stay here after school. So we're able to go into the pantry and give them snacks, food like hoagies. They have sandwiches, all different things. My girls, they love the carrots with the ranch dip. So that's their big go to, but I think it's an awesome thing because all schools don't have that. But especially for our schools to be able to have that, have access to that and not worry about food or not worry about having to go to Wawa or other places after school. They can go right to the pantry for all their supplies and needs. So that was something else I just wanted to bring up. And at this time, I will pass it over to Dr. Decotes.
Good evening, thank you, Madam President. This evening, I do have a couple of updates that I would like to share. You should see the report on the screen. There are three main areas. We have some special thanks, student highlights, and district and community announcements. I do want to start with our special thanks. Donors Shoes, they continue to support our teachers and their efforts and things that they would like to do and projects that they have. So you can see, most recently, we had about $3,700 worth of projects fully funded, and you can see that there, the teachers and the various schools that are benefiting from those awards. So thank you very much to Donors Choose for supporting our public schools. Next, I do want to do, which is part of my favorite things to do, is highlight some of our students. So each school has a student that we will highlight, and I want to start with McKinley Hill. You will see the accomplishments that McKinley has accomplished thus far. She is a sixth grader at Alden Elementary. So congratulations to McKinley Hill at Alden Elementary School. Our next student is Aaron Joshua Robert Mixon. You can see Aaron's accomplishments, and he is known as AJ, as it says here. AJ, keep on continuing to solve problems and be a problem solver. And hopefully one day you'll be helping us here in the school system solve problems and continue to be a student leader. So that's our student at Ardmore Elementary School. And Bell Avenue, we have Paris Morlise. You can see her accomplishments, and Paris is a third grader at Bell Avenue. So congratulations to Paris. Our next student is at Colwyn Elementary, and this is Tahari Purvis. Tahari is a third grader, and she continues to try to do her best as well as meet her goals. So congratulations to Tahari. We're very proud of you. Next, we have East Lansdowne. At East Lansdowne, we have Ali Sheriff, who is a fourth grade student. And it says here that he is a true friend to everyone. So I'm sure that he exhibits kindness. And so we thank you very much. And he's very, very respectful. So congratulations to Ali, who is at Pennsylvania Elementary. Next, we have Evans Elementary. We have Lyric Robinson. Lyric is a sixth grade student. And she exemplifies the Evans swag behavior each and every day, which is a great thing. So, Lyric, we congratulate you on being recognized as the student of the quarter. Congratulations, Lyric. Next, we have Park Lane. We have Sanai Thompson. She has done some great things, and she is a very influential leader. And exhibits positive character. So congratulations to Sanai at Park Lane Elementary School. We have Walnut Street Elementary. We have Khadija Smith, who is a fifth grade student. And she has been selected to serve as the student council president. So she is definitely exhibiting leadership at Walnut Street Elementary. Congratulations to Khadija. Our next student is at Penwood Middle School, Jada Guess. She is on the Distinguished Honor Roll and currently has a 3.8 GPA for the first quarter. So congratulations to Jada. Our next student is at the Penwood Ninth Grade Academy. We have Nyla Stansel Thomas. Nyla advocates for her peers and is very resourceful when needed. So congratulations, Nyla. Penwood High School, Green Avenue campus, we have Savannah Samuel. And she is taking a full load of AP and honors classes, and she's in the 10th grade. So looking for great things to happen with you, Savannah. Congratulations. And our last student is with the personalized learning community, and this is Tristan Smith. Tristan is very friendly and enjoys spending time with peers. So congratulations, Tristan. And it's great to be recognized as the student of the quarter for the PLC. So I want to say congratulations to all of our students for the efforts that they have put forth. And I have a few district and community announcements. I do want to share with everyone that the State of Schools video is on our website under our strategic plan, along with all of the accompanying documents that support what we have implemented thus far. If you have access to this presentation, you can click here, or you can go directly to our website under the strategic plan. Next, I do want to thank those who helped us celebrate the Rat Carey Athletic Complex Turf Field ribbon cutting. Thank you very much for that and your support of that event. And also on November the 16th, we have officially launched our community capital campaign. And so I want to make sure that everyone knows that we are soliciting donations for the work that we are doing on our capital campaign. We are beginning phase 2, which will encompass the Penwood High School Green Avenue campus, as well as the Cypress Street location. There's a QR code on the screen if you want to access more information. And all the donations for this are tax deductible because they are made directly to the William Penn Foundation. So wanted to make sure that our community is aware of that. And all of these efforts are going to support our long-range school facilities master plan. And lastly, one of the things that we do in our district, this is the beginning of our second year, we do recognize employees. And so we want to say congratulations to the employees of the quarter for quarter 1 for the 23-24 school year. This is a process that your peers recognize you for what you've done. Peers also vote and tally up, if you will, the recommendations and make selections. And so you'll see that Randy Carpenter, Darnell Deans, Tamika Simmons, Susan Spacek, Joanne Sumner, and Taylor Williams are some of the people that we recognize. And each employee gets a plaque, a $50 Amazon gift card, flowers, and a balloon. And we do recognize them by going to their school site, in addition to making an announcement at the school so that everyone in the building knows that they have been recognized. So give a round of applause to these employees for their efforts. And we thank you very much for that. And Madam President, that concludes my remarks for tonight. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ritos. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda? So. All those in favor?
Bye.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those against? All right. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes from October 23rd, 2023 business meeting?
So
Second.
Any comments, questions, or concerns? All those in favor? Aye. All those against? All right. Can I get a motion to approve the committee meetings of the whole from November 20th, 2023?
So moved.
Second.
Any comments, questions, or concerns? All right, all those in favor? Aye. All those against? All right. Next, we're gonna go to our remarks from our student representative. So Mr. Bangura cannot be here with us today. But he had to work. He's a working young man, I tell you, he's very busy. But he left his message and he wanted me to read it out to everyone. Good evening, board. My apologies for not being able to make tonight's meeting, but I would still like to give my monthly report. Before Thanksgiving break, I was in discussion with our school principal, Mr. Chicano, on ways we can make coming to school much more easier for the whole. For those who are unaware, students have to pass through safety devices and get bags checked to get into school. And with the process, a line forms for students with the weather getting colder and people getting sick. We wanted to find a solution to this problem. Suggestions like having staggered entrance time for each grade or having multiple entrances for each grade were in the talk. So that's what he talked to Mr. Chicano about. We hope to resolve this as soon as possible for everybody. Students also believe this problem cuts into their first period educational time. We hope to crack down on the lateness and make kids want to come to school. So he is explaining that some kids come to school late because they have to wait in line. So because they have to wait in line, they're saying, okay, well, why be on time if I gotta wait anyway outside? So that's what he's trying to say. Also, I would like to shout out a staff member, Coach Cuff, Coach Cuff, our school social worker, for having me involved in our new food pantry. It's called Raps Athletes. It's Eats, EATS at the end. The pantry is for our community and students and for students who have little to no food and hygiene products. Students tend to get hungry during the day, and sometimes it's hard to learn on an empty stomach. Our goal is to decrease food insecurity and feed those in need, one bite at a time. I have been shadowing Coach Cuff for the past few weeks, hoping to learn more from him. And that is Mr. Bangor's report. All right, next we will hear from Miss Jayla Wise, our 11th grade rep.
Good evening, everyone. Is my mic okay? I just wanted to ask.
We can hear you.
Okay.
Good evening.
Okay. So, funny that Mo actually brought up the whole thing of the entrances in the morning because I actually spoke to Miss Pardini about it today, actually. And me and Mo sort of have like an agreement with trying to get like maybe another entrance that can be exclusively like for the 12th graders. Because the 12th grade and the 10th grade share the same entrance in the morning. Meanwhile, the 11th grade, we have our own. So I do think if they put like maybe another safety metal detector around like the gym door areas and one of the grades can go through those doors to make it like better in the morning to try to get in, I think that would be a really good thing to do since it wouldn't be 2 grades trying to cram into one door. If that makes sense.
No, we definitely hear you, Ms. Wise.
Okay. But other than that,
I was gonna say you have more to report.
nope, that was just the only thing really.
Okay. And you said you're gonna talk to Ms. Pardini. You have already talked to Ms. Pardini, Dr. Pardini?
Mhm.
Okay, awesome, awesome. Thank you very much.
Yep, enjoy the rest of your night.
You too. All right, moving to our 10th grade rep, Ms. Morgan Askew Green.
I'm about the same thing with the entryway.
Mhm.
I also take into the street and so taking that time of life that I started going to the period.
Mhm.
But other than the entryway, everything's been stupid.
Have you got the opportunity to speak to your 10th grade, to talk to Mr. Corkery about this?
And I told him that it's getting a little bit better, but it's mostly the problem.
Okay, and did he give you a response if he's working on it or if they're going to try to make some changes? Okay. All right, thank you for that. Next, Eli, our 9th grade rep. Hey, Eli.
So last time I talked about the busing stuff, so it's gotten better, but, like, yeah, it has gotten better, especially with the whole, that weather.
Mm-hmm.
Today was about like 15 minutes late, and so my fingers were numb by the time I walked on the bus.
Yeah.
So that was kind of tough. There was another issue, about the, like, locked bathrooms and things. I already talked to Mr. Curry about that, and so we're like working that out, but, I was told by a few students, and I saw it, with some of my friends, that if the bathrooms were locked consistently, like, so the students would walk around the building, because sort of pretend they were divided for the bathroom time, trying to find those unlocked bathrooms. But that just might be like, they went at the wrong time sort of thing.
So the bathrooms are locked during the day?
So they're locked for the first 10 minutes, the last 10 minutes of class. And then, we also, cleared out, during lunch periods, there's hamburgers where there's a certain order of the bathroom. But, in the process of working that out.
Okay, so first 10 minutes and last 10 minutes of class to try to keep people out of the bathrooms in the beginning of the class and that got you. Okay, and you have talked to him about that?
Yeah, I feel, and I'm working on it.
Okay, all right. So thank you very much for that. I want to say thank you to our student reps for also following chain of command, going to your principals. You know, that's where you should be going before you come to us. And I'm glad you're giving us these reports so we can follow up. But it's good that you're doing that. That's where it starts with to make changes in the buildings with the principals. So thank you for that.
And for the student reps, we have had conversations with, and I'm talking specifically about GHC right now. We have had conversations with the principal. We've also looked into, addressing the issue with entry. I am waiting for the Student Services Department to give me an update so that I will be able to effectively communicate with the school as it relates to when things will be updated and put into place. So it is something that we're working on.
Okay, any other from the reps, any other, before we go to the board, any other comments from student reps?
Yeah, the student reps had their microphone off, so the citizens couldn't hear it. So
Okay,
we just need to make sure that it's in recording so they can hear it.
okay. Is your mic, and the mic in front of you, can you press that mic, Jayla? It should be green. Okay, yep, that should be green, good.
Thank you.
All right, thank you for that. Yes, Ms. Richardson?
I just wanted to say that Mr. Bangura,
Yes,
he was highlighted on the news for the activity that he's doing. And I was just oh, that's Penwood.
yes,
So he was highlighted on, I don't know what channel, I believe it was 29,
Fox.
but they were showcased
Mhm.
on the news.
Yes, the pantry, yep, the pantry was
Yeah.
definitely on the news. It's a big thing. It's definitely a big thing. And they're doing a great job with it. Any other comments, questions, or concerns? All right, so next will be our special awards. There are no special awards at this time. And now we will go to our comments from the public. If anybody has a comment about an agenda item, please come to the podium. State your first name and last name and what town, borough you reside in. And you have the floor to speak, or if anybody online, please raise your hand so we can unmute your mic. All right, not hearing or seeing none. All right, so next we're gonna go to communications. Mr. Kaufman, are there? Hold on, yeah. Yeah, so is it anything related to anything that you see on the agenda? Okay, no problem. Thank you. And that mic up there, yep, make sure it's green. There you go.
As far as the new principal, that's going to be appointed for Bel Air, and how would the principal actually pick?
Okay,
How does that process actually work?
okay. So that is that is on the agenda. First of all, state your first name, last
My name is Lee Hampton, I live in Darby.
Okay,
I'm from the school president, middle school, and Bel Air, and then,
okay. All right,
oh, and as far as, we're talking about that, and stuff, that's the issue at the middle school too, kids staying out of school.
okay, okay. Thank you for bringing that up. Dr. B. Coates?
Sure, so the principal selection process, begins with a diverse interview team. It initially starts with the, members of the administrative staff as well as a member of the school board. They typically go through a process of vetting candidates. I believe that we've had maybe about 7 applicants for this particular position. Interviews were scheduled and held after the first round of interviews. It was determined that there will be a round 2, and in round 2, parents are invited to participate as well as staff from the school. Those individuals were a part of the second round interview process for Bell Avenue. Information is taken from that process, and a recommended name is provided to me as superintendent, and I also have an opportunity to meet with the selected candidate that is provided to me from the 2 rounds of interviews that have been held.
Okay. Also, thank you for bringing up the entry issue at the middle school. Nobody spoke on that yet, so we definitely will look into that. All right, next we will, yes? Yep, come to the podium. Please state your first and last name and what borough you reside. We know who you are, but.
So my name is Yura Commodore. I reside in Darby. I'm also the WPESPA union president. And I have a question about the appointments, support staff, and the Sequoia Watts. When was that position posted?
On what line item is that?
That is actually on page 8
Okay,
at the bottom. Under appointments, C3.
okay, got you. Sequoia Watts, K-12 sped secretary,
Yeah.
okay? So I'll refer to Dr. Because I know you have HR here. Yeah.
I'm gonna ask Ms. Gardner to speak to that. I don't know the exact dates, but she can address that question.
I don't have the exact date right now. I have to do that for you. 3 minutes for you.
Okay. All right, also, so when it was posted and Ms. Watts came from an agency, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, I would like to know, and also when was it posted? And how long did the posting go up internally? And then how long did it go out or out? Thank you.
It's under government.
Thank you. And mine is, for some reason, I can't get in. Okay, Miss Deidre,
Yeah, it looks like she already got it.
they're saying that the audio, for some reason, is they can't hear. We had a comment in the chat. Okay, okay, no problem. Do you want us to proceed? We can move forward. Okay, thank you. So, Ms. Commodore, I just want to confirm what you stated. You just want to know, with Sequoia Watts, the date that the job was posted and how long it was posted, correct?
How long was it posted internally, and then how long was it posted outside?
Okay,
And if it's possible, to see how many applicants really applied for the position? Or was it already pre-designated to who was going to get the position?
okay. Okay, thank you.
One more other item, sorry. So the other item
Is the mic green, just so we know?
it is green.
Okay.
So I'm noticing in our resignation, and this has been going on quite often, that we're losing our IAs as quick as they're coming in. Has this, issue been addressed or looked at? Because if you look, just about every board meeting, we're losing IAs. And it's very disturbing.
Okay,
Now we're noticing that we're starting to lose quite a bit of our secretaries. This is rather disturbing. Does anyone else notice that, or they're just thinking this is a general term?
so I'll let Dr. Biko speak to that, but I know Miss Tracy's, yeah, Miss, sorry, I couldn't think. Miss Tracy's not here to answer that, but I'll let him speak to that until.
We do look at that information, from what we are gathering, some of it has to do with the salary. That is being offered or that is provided, and when people can find other employment at making more money, most of them are taking advantage of it. That is primarily what we're hearing as the reasons. Keep in mind that everybody does not always indicate that they are going to participate in an extra interview, but they are given an option.
So are we considering, for say, buying where we're losing people and then they're being replaced with outside agencies? Are we looking at that?
We are looking at making sure that we can fill vacancies, and if we do not have applicants, then we have made arrangements to work with agencies to fill positions.
All right. Any other comments from the public on agenda item? All right. All right, next we're going to go to communications. Are there any communications, Mr. Kaufman?
There are none at this time.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Kaufman. All right, next we're gonna go to our committee reports. All right, and we're gonna start with our community relations report, read by our chair, Ms. Luella Richardson.
Good evening, everyone. A1, the PEBT ending. The deadline for the parents and guardians to contact the Department of Human Services for if they have questions about their child's PEBT benefits. There's a phone number 877-343-0179, or they can go online. The last date the PEBT school help desk will be open to assist schools and DHS with outstanding family PEBT inquiries is 12/29/23. A2 Penwood Middle School students wins Veterans Day essay contacts. Jack Edel, I hope I'm pronouncing the name correctly. An 8th grade student at Penwood Middle School won first place in the 2022 Veterans Day Essay Contest sponsored by Delaware County Community Immediate Union and Delaware County chapter of the U.S. Veterans Legacy. The primary goal of the contest was to encourage students to learn about the United States war history, veterans, and how veterans help preserve our freedoms. Jack won first place. Prizes are awarded for first $250, second $200, and third $150. Congratulations. Franklin Federal Credit Union Foundation seeking nominations for excellency and teaching awards and scholarship applicants. The Franklin Foundation is seeking nominations for 2 of their awards program. Excellency and Teaching Award deadline is December 22nd, 2023. They are seeking nominations for this award, which recognizes 20 outstanding and dedicated teachers in Delaware County each year. Recipients of the award receive $1,000 toward classroom expenses, and their school also receives a $1,000 reward. For information, you can contact the foundation online. The John D. Unigas Memorial Scholarship deadline is January 15, 2024. Eligible high school seniors can apply for one of 5 $3,000 awards. High school seniors planning to attend a full-time course of study at an accredited 2 or 4-year institution of higher learning are eligible. Detailed information and application can be found online. A4 Lansdowne Upper Darby Rotary Club October Students of the Month Awards. The Rotary Club of Upper Darby and Lansdowne recognized high school seniors from the Penwood, Archbishop Pendergast, Monsoon and Bonner, and Upper Darby High Schools in the Student of the Month Award. A Penwood High School student, Khalil Ramon, was Student of the Month for October 2023. Students are chosen based on academic performance, leadership skills, and participation in extracurricular activities. Khalil is a member of the varsity soccer and wrestling teams. He has taken multiple AP classes at the high school and is a member of the National Honor Society. Khalil was recognized at the monthly luncheon at the Upper Darby and Lansdowne Rotary Club and presented with a certificate. That ends my report.
Thank you very much, Ms. Richardson. Are, there's nothing to, so are there any comments, questions, or concerns? I do just have one question, I think. I don't know if it was Deidre. Jen had asked last meeting, for the Rotary Club, do we usually pick two candidates per month? Did you find that information out for us?
Yes, I did, and that was the only name that he said for this month, and I asked for October, I asked him for November, and he didn't have the counselor, Mr. Garvey, sent to me,
Okay,
so he only sent one name for that.
oh, so he, that
Yeah,
month,
so he sends the information to me, so.
just for that month, we only had one person. Okay, thank you very much for that.
Can we make sure he knows we get two? Yeah, I can do that. Thank you.
Are there any other comments, questions, and concerns? All right. Next, we're gonna go to our Education Committee agenda, read by our chair, Ms. Valerie Cook Henry.
Good evening, everyone.
Evening.
B1 agreement with Epic Special Education Staffing. And the motion is to approve the 2023-24 agreement between the William Penn School District and Epic Special Education Staffing as indicated below. And the agreement is subject to district solicitor's review and approval from form and content. And B2, out-of-state field trip. The motion is to approve the Penwood High School Choir student field trip to Radio City Music Hall at 1260 6th Avenue, New York, New York, on December 19, 2023. That concludes my report.
Thank you very much, Ms. Valerie Cook Henry. Can I get a second? Yes. All right, any comments, questions, or concerns? The question I have about, B1 is, are these, I guess, is there other, what's different from this special education staffing than we use with the difference in?
I wouldn't necessarily say that there's a difference. I think what we try to do is make sure that we have a variety of entities that we work with, because some entities are better at identifying quality people to work without students and work without staff.
Gotcha.
So this is just another opportunity that we have, and as positions become available, we try to work with different agencies to acquire the best person.
And we only pay out based on if we use.
If we get
Okay.
services used.
Okay.
That's correct.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, any other comments, questions, or concerns? All right, all those in favor? Aye. You're on mute, Joy. Why did you say aye? I'll say, okay. All those against?
Aye. Oh, sorry.
It's okay, it was a delay, it's all right. All right. Next, we're gonna go to our Personnel Committee agenda, read by our chair, Ms. Wadia Ivory. Please available, yeah.
Good evening. All right, let's go C1 retirements. And that would be Miss Diane Stevens, Secretary Colwyn. I've been with the district since September of 2019. And Sheila Young, Library Assistant at East Lansdowne, has been with the district since October 2008. And again, we would like to thank both individuals for their years of service here at William Penn School District, and we wish them many, many years of enjoyment in their retirement. C2 resignations. Excuse me. C3 appointments. and I'll read through those. Okay, we have Kim Evans, principal at Bell Avenue, start date January 2nd, 2023. Reason retirement of Javon Oates. Brianna Heffernan, admin operations project manager at the administration building, starting 12/4/2023. Professional staff, Akeelia Burke, social worker at the admin building, beginning 11/27 today. Brittany Gomer, LTS kindergarten at Park Lane, began 11/20/2023. Support staff, Sequoia Watts, K-12 sped secretary to supervisor at the admin building. Monique Anderson, instructional assistant at East Lansdowne. And we would like to welcome and congratulate all of those individuals that are new to our district and switching positions. C4, changes in assignment. C5, leaves of absence. C6, there are no mentors, I apologize, mentors. C7, miscellaneous appointments.
Yep. I was worried about this.
C8, there are no tenure awards. C9, salary track, there are none. C10, miscellaneous personnel items, there are none. C11, modifications to previously approved items. And we have additions to the agenda, C12. Appointments, Kim Evans, admin again, principal at Bell Avenue. Miscellaneous appointments. And that concludes my report. And I would just like to invite anyone that would like to have additional information. We have our personnel meeting tomorrow evening, if you would like to join. And that concludes my report.
Okay,
Madam President, before the board votes, I know that Ms. Gardner is back. I would like for her to
Oh.
answer the question that was
okay,
asked.
Ms. Gardner, if you don't mind coming to the podium. And I have re-asked the question once you had went out to make sure we covered everything. And Ms. Commodore says she wanted dates for Sequoia Watts. When was the position posted internally, externally? And then she also asked how many applicants, and I don't know if you had went back to get that information, but that was the add-on.
Okay, I did not hear how many hours.
Yeah, got you. I figured.
The position was posted, August 3rd, 2023. There was no closing date. It was posted externally and internally, August 3rd.
Okay,
And there was no closing, it was open until.
okay, awesome. Dr. Lee, you have anything to say?
And we need a second.
Okay, no problem. Yes, thank you. Any comments, questions, or concerns? Okay, Jen?
Page 14,
Mm-hmm.
appointments. Do we need a cap on, Mr. Pop? And I'm grateful that he's coming back, to help. But like, how many days is that? Like, usually there's up to a certain amount of days. Like, that's pretty open-ended.
Yes, he could speak, Dr. Bicos could speak to that. I actually asked, but also we're getting help from the DCIU with that, so he can explain, but.
Yeah, I mean, I would be more comfortable with it not to exceed and then come back and. ask for
Oh, okay,
more.
like deadline,
Like,
okay.
If it's 100 days.
Well, it says May 31st, 2023, so I would think that, so,
Right.
I'm sorry,
May 30th.
that should say 2024, I believe.
Right,
Yeah, so there is a deadline, but I see, are you saying cap on how much we're paying or not exceeding, the 2024 deal?
so is that, it's so based on program needs, it's pretty subjective to me. Right, so like I was just,
So how I read it is, I understand what you're saying, but we're only using him to May 31st, 2024.
I understand, I just. That's a lot of days and it's very, for me, subjective based on program needs. So that is he in 5 days a week? Is he in 4 days? a
Oh, so
week?
you want to know his schedule?
No, I don't want to know the schedule. I want I want a predictable budget amount. So like we did a stipend for athletics,
Okay,
$10,000 for Mr. Court. Right, we previously voted on that. How many days do we realistically expect? Like, what is this number?
okay.
Right, so if I did, like, this is 25 weeks, is that 5 days a week times 425? I'm just trying to understand.
Yeah,
from the budget.
It will go also around his schedule, how many days a week they need for his schedules, yeah.
So it is based upon need, so there may be weeks in which we only would utilize him for 4 days. There may be weeks where we utilize him for 5, there may be 3. But it's not going to be more than what we have budgeted as it relates to salary and benefits for the full position that's vacated.
So Keith, I guess she wants that number.
No, that's okay, I'll figure it out. That number. I'm
You don't want-
looking at how many days between listed things.
Oh,
And then we can figure it out, because well, I think you're right, Dr. Because we've already put in money for Corkery, money for, Ms. Buchanan, right? So I'm just trying to get a predictable.
Right, and that amount is only through a certain period of time, so for example,
December.
Corkery's would end at the end of this month, that's what we got, right? Because we have somebody else that's serving. So the other people's would end as well, and then we do have the salary from the athletic director's position that we're utilizing.
Right, but we have a new position called the manager.
Not, that position has not been filled as of yet, and that is still under discussion.
Okay,
Yeah,
Yep,
all right,
so that
Got
has
it.
not been filled.
got it,
Yep,
thank you.
uh-huh.
you good?
Yeah.
Questions? Okay, any other comments, questions, or concerns, with regard to personnel? All right. You do? Oh, wait, that was from board, hold on, so we're out of, we're going to be out of order, I'll circle back, okay? So with regard to the board, all in favor? Aye. All against? All right, hearing or seeing none. Next, we're gonna go to our property committee agenda, read by our chair, Mr. Jan Tong.
Thank you, Madam President.
You're welcome.
Good evening. This evening, we have D1 Penwood Middle School gym roof. The motion is to approve the proposal from KCBA to assist with developing bid requirements for the Penwood Middle School gym roof. We have D2 Penwood High School and Penwood 9th Grade Academy design. The motion there is to approve the continuation of work by KCBA on the Penwood High School and 9th Grade Academy Street design. D3, we have within budget change orders for the athletic complex. The motion is to approve within budget change orders 4, 5, and 6. D4, East Lansdowne Elementary School field lease. The motion is to approve moving forward with a lease of East Lansdowne Elementary fields to the borough of East Lansdowne. Borough intends to apply for a grant from PICO to install lights for the field at no cost to the district. Lease will be subject to solicitor review prior to execution. And that concludes my report for this evening.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tong. We, first, let me get, can I get a second?
Second.
All right, comments, questions, concerns. Last meeting, Jen had asked if the lease could be shared with the board. Have we done that?
We've seen it.
Have we seen the lease?
It's still being drafted.
It's still being drafted, okay. All right, so I just wanted to follow up on it, make sure we're listening. All right, and any other comments, questions, or concerns? Anybody else? All right. Yep. Ms. Richardson?
The Penwood Middle School gym roof.
Yes.
Are we looking at a time frame for that? Would it be this year, beginning of next year? Because I'm sure as the winter approaches that the roof cannot be worked on during the winter months.
Yes, so I did ask that, I think last meeting of the hosts, I don't think you were present, right? So I was on the same page as you because we all know that they can't do the work while one of the kids are possibly in there.
Right.
So what this basically is just a bid, where we're bidding for someone to come in and take a look at it. So no work is going to be performed. We have to get a contractor first. And Mr. Kaufman, you can correct me if I'm wrong. But we have to get a contractor in first to look at it and find out what they can fix, what they can't fix. And then if they're able to fix during the winter months, then they can fix it during the winter months. But right now, this is not about fixing anything. It's just putting a bid out to find somebody. But I was on the same page. I asked the same question.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, we did. First and second, no, we did, oh, thank you, think moving too fast. All right, next, we didn't, right?
I heard you say the first second. Very good.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, they said it. All those against? All right, hearing or seeing none, we're gonna go to our Budget and Finance Committee agenda, which is read by our chair, Ms. Jen Hobb.
Thank you, Mr. President. E1 Treasurer's Report into the bills, E3 William Penn Data Backup Agreement, E4 Proposed Budget Process and Calendar, E5 Act 1 Index, and I'll read that. The recommended action, so I guess this would be A, Mr. Khan.
You are the movement on this, so if you're gonna go ahead with the A, then just read that. You don't even have to,
Okay,
you know what I
so
mean?
A is to adopt a resolution to not raise the 24-25 real estate taxes above the 8.0 index as calculated by the Pennsylvania Department of Education.
All right, thank you very much, Ms. Hobb. Can I get this? Thank you. Just any comments, questions, concerns? I just want to reiterate with E5, that does not mean we are raising taxes. So I don't want it to be misconstrued because, when we had our meeting of the whole, some people came back and stated that we were raising taxes 8%. And no, this is the index. So we have never went, and Jen, correct me if I'm wrong, we've never went above the index. We were always under, but I want to state to the public that this is not for that. This is for us just to state that we are not going above the index, and then we'll figure out a number as time goes on. But that doesn't happen till June. So I just want everybody to understand that because I don't want wrong information to go out.
And the state requires you to make this choice.
Yeah.
You only get the two choices. You either agree to be bound by the Act 1 index, or you say you're gonna go above. Those are the only two choices you get.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Khan. All right, any other comments, questions, or concerns with regard to our Budget and Finance Committee, agenda? All right, hearing or seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
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 All those against? All right, hearing or seeing none. All right, so, Policy Committee, we're gonna have our Policy Committee agenda read by our chair, Ms. Joy Hopkins.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you so much. I hope everybody had a wonderful holiday. I know I did. I slept the whole holiday. Anyway, yes, I did. Anyway, first reading of policies 249 and 819. The motion is to approve the first reading of the William Penn School District Policy 249, bullying and cyberbullying, and Policy 819, suicide awareness, prevention, and response, to enter such readings into the minutes. That concludes my report.
Thank you very much, Ms. Hopkins.
Second.
Thank you. Any comments, questions, or concerns, from our Policy Committee agenda? All right, hearing or seeing none, all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All those against? All right, we're gonna move right along. Mr. Khan, do we have any solicitors report today?
No report, Madam President.
All right, thank you so much. Mr. Wright is absent at this time, so he usually gives our Delaware County Community College report, but he's not here, so you'll be hearing from him at our next meeting of the whole or board business meeting. Next, we'll go to our Delaware County Intermediate Unit. Our representative, or I would say liaison for that, is Ms. Joanna Hopkins. She's gonna give her report.
Work still going, again, thank you again. Work still going on at the Marple Education Center Facilities Project. Now, work has been held at the Fallcroft Facilities Project. And then the Veterans Day essay contest, I have Mr. Jack at the Penwood Middle School in third place. So I think so that was what report to me at the IU. So and then Mr. Randy Carpenter is his teacher. So I really want to clarify that and make sure that we give Mr. Jack his show at all his proper dues. And I don't want to be misreporting incorrectly. So I'll look into that and report back.
Thank you very much, Ms. Hopkins. So you guys are busy over there at the GCIU, I see.
Girl,
So
we always busy. What you talking about?
I do, they do a lot of stuff over there, but next we're gonna go to Delaware County Legislative Council, read by our liaison, Jennifer Hall.
Thank you very much. Dr. Beatrice and I attended the Basic Education Funding Commission on November 16, 2023. It was nice to play host to such hearings. I didn't get to stay for Dr. Beatrice's testimony, but I'm sure it was right on. There's a couple of bills floating around, not much work was getting done. The House is in session December 11th through the 13th. So perhaps not much else is going to get done. We're still looking at House Bill, what is it, 1122? And then there's some charter bills floating, cyber charter bills floating around. But hopefully after the new year, everyone gets back to work in earnest. And I have more to report in end of December.
Let's see.
2 days a month working. It's pretty interesting.
All right. Thank you very much, Ms. Hoff. Is there any, there's no old business. So our new business is continued discussion on protocols and procedures. What I'm going to do is I'm going to ask the board to review the information that was given to us today by Dr. B. Coates. At our last meeting, we discussed our disagreements with regard to how we would like to communicate as a board. So now we know that we have communication policies that are set. And we need to review those communication policies and how we're going to move forward. So since they were given to us today, I asked that everybody take the time to review the communication policies that have been set forth before everybody here was on the board, and read those policies to ensure that we're aligned with those first, and then come back at our next meeting of the wholes with suggestions on how we can move forward. And also working with the parking lot, is that another opportunity for us to be able to improve the parking lot, or if not, but just make sure we're following what we say we need to with regard to our policies.
Ms. Boykins,
Mhm.
I had a question about, like I had a question that related to not a citizen question, but mine, and how it fit. I put it in the form and I sent an email to you and Ms. Ivory to talk about that. So whenever you're ready.
Okay, what day did you send that?
I resent it to you again this morning.
Okay, when was the initial?
I think it was on the 20th. Or the 21st. I did it the day after our meeting.
After our meeting, okay.
Yeah, just to, I just want to kick the tires a little bit, and there was sort of, not a place for that type of question, so maybe some form enhancement.
Okay.
Something like that.
All right, I'll review that also and get back to you. Also,
Ms.
Um,
Boykins,
Mr.
I don't know if you could see my hand, but I had my hand up.
yes, 1 second, Ms. Hopkins, I'll be right with you. Mr. Khan, you weren't here at our last, our meeting of the wholes, right? So it was a question that I wanted clarification on this. When we decided to do our parking lot, I came to you and I had a meeting, with you to ask about how we would respond in a parking lot. And you explained to us that the questions may come, but we can't put responses directly in the spreadsheet because it would go against like our sunshine. So I wanted to ask you, could you please elaborate to the board so we all can have a better understanding of how those responses would affect us in the Sunshine Act?
So 5 or more of you can't have a discussion about agency business in any format. You can't all get in a room together. You can't all have an email chain together. You can't all get on a conference call together to talk about school district business unless it's either an executive session or at a public meeting. You can ask questions and you can get information from admin one-to-one. You can ask questions through the board president or through the superintendent and get information one-to-one. But if you have a document where a question is asked, everybody has access to the document and then answers are coming forward on that same document. And let's say there's then a follow-up question. At that point, you're basically having a discussion about school district business, but you're not doing it in executive session and you're not doing it at a public meeting. And that we can't do. So it has to be a bit of a one-way street.
So this is why we were trying to develop an FAQ. And that was something that another suggestion we gave to you. And you said, you know what, that may work, an
Yeah.
FAQ. So,
So can I elaborate
Sure,
a little?
absolutely.
So if in the spreadsheet it says, what are the hours of each school? Is that sunshine?
I mean,
Or what's the bell schedule, or who's the contact at the bus depot?
Right.
Or that stuff. That's a one-way ticket. Here's the information. It's not a conversation about
right.
who the person is.
It is not deliberation, right? But the risk you run, unless your format kind of makes you only do that, the risk you run is that you wind up with back and forth. And that's what we need to avoid, is the back and forth.
Right.
As long as it's, sort of one way and then the information goes back and that's it, you're okay.
all right. Thank you very much,
Sure.
Mr. Khan. Ms. Hopkins, you have the floor.
Before I get the floor, there was 2 comments in the Q&A by Ms. Nicole Cogdell. So I was hoping that we could answer those questions. I don't know what medical assistance meant at that point.
May I answer this? Dell's, she's asking for the charter bill in the house. I just want to give it.
Oh, yeah, of course you can answer that. We're talking about the medical assistance one.
Right, I'm gonna ask staff to address that. We typically look at the Q&A and answer it right directly in the Q&A. So she did verify what MA meant, so someone on the staff will respond to that.
Okay. There was a question, in the Q&A and, somebody from admin, if the admin team, if you could just answer that question. All right.
And then my question, mine is actually not a question. Oh, maybe it is. So what you just commented on regarding the continued discussion, you kept using the phrase policy. This is not a policy. This is procedures that we want to start using as a board, not policy, correct?
Correct. What I'm referring to is that there are policies Dr. Biko sent us today. There is a communication policy that has been written before all of us have even been on the board. And he told us about these communication policies and are we adhering to those policies first? And he sent them to us today for us to review them. And I don't think everybody on the.
I think what Ms. Hopkins may be trying to distinguish is this is not board policy. This is not like a numbered policy in our board manual.
No, it's not.
That's correct. That is correct. Thank you, Mr. Khan.
Yes, this is not board policy, but Dr. Bikotes is saying like, don't reinvent the wheel. We possibly could have communication policies out there already. Read these to ensure. So sorry about that. I understand what you're saying.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Are there any other comments before we move on? We'll revisit this. We'll put this back on our meeting of the whole agenda. All right, now to the public for non-agenda items. Is there anyone, that has a non-agenda item that they would like to speak on? Yep, you can come to the podium, either one of you. Just make sure you state your first name, last name, what borough you reside in.
Good evening, my name is Melita Reagan, I live in Lansing.
Is your speaker on? I just want to make sure that's green in front of you. Can you repeat again? Okay.
Good evening, my name is Melita Reagan, I live in Lansdowne, and I'm the president of the Homeschool High School. I just want to extend an invitation to our board of directors and our superintendent for our December meeting taking place on December 14th from 6:30 to 8 across the street at Green Ave. It'll be an informal meeting and kind of a holiday chat and chew. So we just wanted to extend an invitation to you all to help foster more of a sense of community between our parents and our district leadership. So if you're available, please do that.
And I'm sorry, you did say December 14th, 6:30 to 8.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
Library? Where?
Yes, it'll be in the library.
In the library.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Board of Directors, you heard that. We got an invite for chat and chew.
Can you give date
So-
and time again, please? Because it was a little hard to hear.
December 14th, December 14th, 6:30 to 8 in the library.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for the invite. All right, Ms. Faber, I think you were next.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Marie Louise Faber, resident of Lansdowne. I was coming to see if there was a follow-up on the question I had raised earlier in the school year about the bathrooms. So both at the middle school and high school, the status of the bathrooms. When I've been in the buildings, most of them are locked, so I can't check up on them myself. I'm also frequently told not to use the student bathrooms and instead ushered to one of the staff bathrooms. And again, I want to make sure that our students have not only access, as was mentioned earlier, but also clean bathrooms they can use without hesitation.
Yes. Dr. Rico, do you have a follow-up on the cleanliness of the bathrooms? Have you been having any reports?
We have not had reports, in terms of the lack of cleanliness of bathrooms. There are some issues at some schools that we're working with, Airmark on. There is a process that, that's outlined in the contract that speaks to us meeting with them on, meeting Airmark on a regular basis. And as items are not adhered to that are contractual, the district will receive a refund, if you will, of dollars due to various things not being met in the contract. So we'll be able to provide the board and the community with an update on that. I believe we are going to have our first quarter meeting. And that's really led by Bob Kaufman, who is the business manager. And so further update will be provided in terms of the outcome of quote unquote, I'll just call it an audit. In terms of bathrooms being locked, bathrooms are locked for safety reasons. What we have found is that students are in bathrooms doing things that they should not be doing. And so as a part of some school safety measures, bathrooms are locked because we do not have enough staff to monitor bathrooms on a daily basis. That does not mean that students aren't able to utilize bathrooms as needed or when needed, but that is the reason that that they are locked.
Can I ask for a visual of these bathrooms? Like I said, I said they were locked when I'm in the building, so during parent-teacher conference, which makes sense because they were probably cleaned and locked and nobody's using them, which that's fine, but again, I would like somebody other than the word of Airmark that these are clean. Thank you.
Do we know that? Thank you.
Ms. Malika? Mashinda, oh my.
Please don't.
My apologies, I thought I have you down as Malika.
There's no A in my name.
Okay, Miss Mashinda, thank you for correcting me. Miss Mashinda, I got you, Jen, right after her.
Yep.
Like you said,
Oh, I have,
Dr. Pico, you said about there's not enough staff, so what are you gonna do about the staff with the bathroom situation, and why do we have a dress code at the middle school if they don't enforce it? Or when they try to enforce it, they act as back in their life, just how to do it.
I will take another of those questions. I can't address the second question, the question about, you said, when is he gonna have more
More
staff?
staff,
Maybe if the state provides us with the funding that we've sued them for, if we ever get it, that might be the starting point. But I can't give you an answer, a definite answer today, because it is gonna impact, funding.
all right, I got another comment, we had a parent teacher conference last week at the middle school. There was hardly no communication other than it being on the website. And I understand that we do have new administration, but I think there needs to be some changes because there wasn't a lot of parent turnout. Are you trying to get people to come to home school, get people involved, but if parents don't know what's going on, or I hate to say this, if I call administration and I ask them, I let them know, well, you know, there was no sign up to meet the teacher, or whatever, and you tell me to reach out to the house leader and I ask you who it is, and you can't tell me, that doesn't help me. Unfortunately. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to be involved, but if I ask you certain things, I prefer you say, well, I don't know right now, but I get back to you, so don't just, oh, I don't know, or reach out to this person and you can't tell me there. Like, the communication at the middle school needs to be much better.
that, also, I just have a question that, for parent teacher conference, cause I attended the one at the high school. Participation was not as high as well, but my question to you was, did that information come out on Parent Square?
No, she didn't post anything at the middle school.
Okay,
I'm gonna say this, I called the school and I got one teacher to send a sign up.
gotcha.
I mean, I still went, I wanted to go to both schools, but I know at the elementary school, there was stuff sent over the Wednesday folder, there was stuff documented on Parent Square. Ms. Oates sends a monthly, sometimes a weekly announcements in Parent Square, but the middle school,
There was no,
the communication is not the same.
okay. Thank you. So we have a hand raised in the chat.
Hello, hi, how are you? My name is Nicole Cogdell and I reside in Alden. And I definitely have some questions for Ms. Puff in terms of the actual bills, other than the bill that you listed and you put the link in, because there are a lot of meaningful bills that can help school districts and taxpayers like myself that have not been mentioned. Will you be doing a more, I don't want to say accurate or being disrespectful in any way, but will you be drilling down a little bit more and providing the taxpayers with additional bills that will help school districts and taxpayers like myself? And then the second question that I put in there, in terms of the EPIC staffing funding, in terms of medical assistance reimbursement, specifically for parents who have children that are special education and receive related related services, how much of the monies can we expect as taxpayers will be recouped to the William Penn School District? Like, how aggressive are we being in terms of ensuring that in a respectful way that parents are knowledgeable about MA funding, that they're signing off on MA funding so that we can have some of the monies recouped? So what is the estimate of recouption in terms of all of the related services in EPIC staffing? Thank you so very much.
Thank you very much, Ms. Nicole. Yes, so first question was directed to Jen.
Ms. Cogdell, I cannot give you, the full list of House bills that the intermediate unit is watching right now. I'll put my email in chat, and if you send me yours, I can monthly supply you with the list of bills.
No disrespect. I'm personally knowledgeable about the bills because I'm a part of creating some of them, but I'm just a little offended that the school district that I pay taxes in cannot tell me about, the different bills, definitely some that are more meaningful than the one that was listed. I just think that we need to do a better job in terms of that because there are a lot of really good accountability bills that as taxpayers, we will get behind if we know more about them. But if you will put your email in the chat, definitely we can have a conversation because as a taxpayer, it's not acceptable for me.
So, advocacy is what I do on the side of being a school board director, in other personal time. So I would love to know the bills that are of interest to you that I think we should, be watching. So I'll put my, email in the chat.
Thank you very much. And in terms of the MA reimbursement, because I know that sometimes staffing companies can, benefit a lot from school districts and put a lot of things in evaluations. Some of them can be extremely loaded. So how are we better monitoring them as well as making sure that, our percentage in terms of MA funding is being put back into the district? Can someone answer that?
The use of staffing companies does not change the district's relationship to an IEP for a student.
I understand that.
So the district will always own the IEP. The district always provides, as a matter of course, the MA sign-off for all students with IEPs in the district. And the district does the best it can to then secure that, including at one point joining a lawsuit to try and make sure that MA recoupment was as high as it could be.
But what are we doing to better monitor? You're still not answering the question. That's very ambiguous. We know that in terms of individualized education plans, once a NORP is signed and the school, the school district as well as the superintendent signs off, then we have a legal responsibility to ensure that that IEP is being implemented. But what are we doing to also educate our parents in terms of making sure that, listen, you signing this form is helping the school district, is bringing in more. It could possibly bring in more funding in terms of recouption. And what are we doing to make sure that those staffing companies, I'm not saying Epic specifically, but I have seen in the past a lot of staffing companies molest school districts and not do what they need to do in loading different evaluations and recommendations so that they can build school districts more. What I'm wondering is, what is the cap in terms of Epic? And then what can we look at in terms of a reimbursement rate?
I have no idea.
Okay, I'll step back and I'll call the superintendent's office tomorrow and ask to speak to special education, because as a taxpayer, I have an issue with it. But thank you, Sarah, so very much for answering my question to the best of your ability.
Thank you very much, Ms. McCall. Any other comments, questions, or concerns? Oh, yeah, Ms. Mashenda.
Is there any way we can see about getting someone to block the street in the morning and the afternoon? Because we got the sign that says don't come to the block, but it means nothing. And I live on the block and trying to watching the traffic trying to go up and down the street when the bus is there, it's very difficult.
You're talking about at Penwood
At the middle school.
Yeah.
You would have to work with the
Police.
local police, because that is not a street that we own. That is under the jurisdiction
So
of
you need to go to the
God.
chief of police, because you know I can go around, I don't have a problem.
I didn't say you need to go. I'm just sharing with you that that's not something that we can control.
Alright, but can we
But
see
we,
about that?
but we
Try to
have,
the street block,
they did work with us to put up the sign, but we can definitely inquire.
and
For sure.
they have a thing that block the street too, where I think the divider over there will be it up.
See, because we don't own that block, the police would have to support and say that they were willing. And sometimes we come into issues where they may say they don't have the manpower, or some of those type of things may come up. So what we will do is they'll go back and we'll ask for support. But we can't guarantee that we're going to get the support that you're asking for. The only other way to do that is put someone out there to try to deter traffic from going down. So, yeah, I understand.
The reason I'm thinking, because I live on the block, and it's stop sign in front of my house, you might as well say it's non-existent.
Well, we can see what we can do because I think Darby Borough, the police, they're very supportive. So first, let's start there, go to the police and see what we can do. And we'll get back to you. We'll revisit that.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you for bringing that up. Yes, Ms. Richardson.
I understand what you're saying, but the middle school is in a residential district. You can't block the street entirely. How will the residents get to it? I mean, we have to respect the residents also.
I get that, but at a certain time when the kids are being dropped off in the morning, the street should be blocked off.
Are you talking about Summit Street or
Yes,
you
I am. I'm
7th
on the
Street?
block, and I'm a resident, so like, unfortunately, like, and it's not even a resident trying to get through the block, it's the parents dropping off their kids. That's the problem that I have, and like I said, when I find in front of my house, the day runs through every day.
I understand that because I see that on 7th Street. The parents, yeah, that is a problem. Around the school,
And they
yeah,
said it's gonna take for a kid to get hit, because somebody wanna do something.
it is a problem. Yes, it is.
Sometimes if you have a cop sitting right there, they'll be more, they'll be more precautious, you know what I'm saying? So maybe we can get some support. Let's first go.
Because I asked the borough to put the temporary posts there at the stop signs, and they did that. To block, to keep the traffic, it was like a juggle, you know, all the traffic came together right there at 7th Street and Front Street, yeah,
They
but.
put them speed bumps, they not gonna be non-existent, they really not about.
Yeah. Well, thank you for that. We'll try our best efforts to try to get some support and then go from there. Okay? Are there any other comments, questions, concerns for non-agenda items? All right, hearing or seeing none. Our announcement of future meetings, we have a personnel meeting on November 28th, which is tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. If you have any questions about anything with personnel, please come. You know, this is the time where we really can dig into questions you may have. Our reorganization meeting, Board of Directors, December 4th is 2023. Board of Directors, I'll be sending an email out to you. This is going to be at 6:00 p.m. On Monday, December 4th. We won't have our solicitor there at that meeting. But we
Unless
will
you need
need to
someone.
have a judge.
If you need someone, we can have someone here.
We need a judge for
Judge Williams?
we will need a judge for that meeting, Dr. Bigford. The reorganization, meeting. Just to let you know, because if Mr. Khan's not, well, no. Mr.
Were you on the, it's more fun to have a judge, but were you on the ballot this year?
No,
This meeting is the one meeting under the school code where you can administer the oath if you want to. So if the
Oh.
judge is not available, you can actually give everybody
Oh.
else their oath.
okay, well, I'll do that then.
Okay.
Then we don't need a judge, but I would like for you to come.
Okay, we'll
Because
make sure
that-
there's coverage.
This is my first time doing it.
Yep.
So I would like for you to come, if that's okay with you, Dr. Bigford. All right, so reorganization meeting, December 4th at 6:00 p.m. Our next board business meeting is December 18th, Monday, at 6:30 p.m. And those are all our meetings. Board of Directors, I would ask if you could please come in person. It should not be long for December 4th. I know that everybody's very busy, but we're gonna be starting at 6:00 and we shouldn't be out. It shouldn't take more than 6:30 for us to be in and out, on December 4th. So, if that be it,
Mr. Khan, do people have to show in person to be sworn in?
You have to be sworn in person. Technically, you can get sworn in anytime between
and we have 4 people, right?
the certification of your election
Yeah.
and the meeting.
Wadia, Ms. Hoff, Ms. Val, no,
Mr. Ray.
Mr. Wright. Also, we gotta talk to Mr. Wright and
Joy.
Joy. So those are 4 people getting sworn in, for a new 4-year term. Oh, Mr. Callahan, 5th, okay, 5, sorry about that. So 5 people are getting, sworn in. And also congratulations again to you guys. But yes, so please attend. Make yourselves available. Thank you very much. We call this meeting to adjourn.